Hey, what's up, guys? It's Liane V, and I'm here with my girl, Jen DeLeon. If you don't know how to spell her name, it's right there. Make sure you guys check it out. We just wrapped an interview, and stay tuned. Mwah.
All right. Hey, guys, this is Jen DeLeon, and today I'm sitting with my friend, Liane, and we're going to talk all things music, social media, life lessons, and all that. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I haven't seen you since, like, what? Well, my birthday, but we haven't hung out since, like,
2 years ago.
That's horrible. And you live down the street from me.
We're neighbors, but we went to Macau.
The worst neighbor ever.
No, we
went doesn't hit me up. And she lives right down the street from me.
I literally live like one light over from you.
I can't believe it. We need to change that.
But anyway, yeah, we went to Macau a couple years ago, and that was when, you know, everything was first just starting and blowing up. So let's talk about what you're working on right now.
Right now, I just released an EP, so I've just been pushing the songs. It's 5 songs on the EP, and right now I'm just performing, booking stuff. I'm actually performing at the Clipper Games next Wednesday, halftime show. I performed recently at the White House.
How was that?
That was insane. Like the fact that I never thought I'd be in the White House performing and singing.
Do you watch Scandal?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some of it.
If the White House really
I need to get into
it. What it looks like.
It's so big. Like I don't even. It's such a big place. Honestly, we were just in one little section. But I wanted to stay for the tour, but I had to leave. But honestly, it was such an amazing experience. The fact that I can represent Filipino women in the Filipino History Month. I didn't even know they had that celebration.
Me either. But when I saw that, I was like, it's awareness.
It was crazy. They invited me to come out. Apple the App invited me and all them. So it was just such a great experience. Super rewarding. And it was fun too. I didn't get to really take in the moment because we were there because I was coming from Hawaii. I flew 8 hours to North Carolina, then an hour to DC. So, but it was so much fun.
Oh, so I was gonna ask you. So it seems like your goals right now are obviously music and then getting into like acting and doing all that. But you still do the skits, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so. How do you think your influence, because you know it started with social media, do you think that's helped you more or hurt you with wanting to do other things and expand? Like, do you feel like it left you in like a bubble when you're like, oh, I want to do music or I want to do this, or do you think that it didn't really impact it?
Social media has definitely changed my life for the better. Of course, like you can't really pick and choose what door opens up for you. I initially moved out here just to follow my dreams, be in the entertainment industry. Focus on like my music career and acting, all that, but it so happened that social media happened to be the first door to open. So I think that a lot of people discovered me through comedy skits, and not a lot of people know that I've been doing music before. So now it's a place where I have to balance both and just kind of work it in. And the project that I just released, everyone's really accepting it. So it feels good for my followers to enjoy the music that I'm putting out, and I'm just excited to see where it goes. So far, the opportunities are just coming out, so I'm really excited.
What advice do you have for people when it comes to social media? Like you said, you didn't think it was going to be that. What were some of the things that helped you even build a following to begin with? Was it collaborating with people? Was it the way like you put certain hashtags? Like what were some of your techniques when it came to that?
Man, I tried to do everything, all the hashtags. I even used to comment on popular posts just so people can see my comment. Yeah, and I was getting followers from that too. But I just knew social media was definitely a tool because it's something that you do on your own. I love the freedom to create your own content. I loved editing, and I fell in love with that whole process, just the shooting, creating content with other influencers, like, Daystorm Powers, one of my good friends. He taught me a lot. He was huge, he still is a huge YouTuber, but he like grew in other platforms, and we grew together on that, like Vine and all that stuff. But I think the best part about it is just collaboration. Like we collaborated, I made new friends, I've grown a lot of relationships through that. So it's been a journey, but I love it.
And you did tell me off camera that you're shooting. Can you talk about that?
You're
shooting
a
reality show.
Exclusive. You heard it here first.
Right here.
We are shooting a reality show that has to do with influencers, YouTubers, social media people. It's pretty much our individual lives. So my show, like with what they want from me, they want me to talk about my music, my relationship life, my friends, and family. So
Okay.
I love it. I really did not want to do reality.
Yeah, because how are you? I mean, you're pretty open about stuff. Like everyone knows who your family is, your boyfriend, and your friends. But it's like, how do you really feel when it comes to reality shows and being that personal with you?
Only because I see myself crossing over to acting, but this seemed like a really great opportunity. A lot of my friends were interested as well, and I know Daystorm won't do anything also that would jeopardize, you know, his career. And he was definitely telling me like, Liane, this would be a great look for you because you get to talk about your music, you get to you know, showcase that with the show. So I took it, and so far it's really cool show. We have a really great cast. The top influencers are on it, so I think it's going to be a great outcome.
Okay, so let's talk about No Cuss, the EP. So what I wanted to do was, you know, well, this is why I asked you that too, because, you know, when I really listened to the project, it was about love and relationships, but it is still very personal because, you know, you can't just write certain stuff like that without experiencing it. So I really want to talk to you about relationships. So the first thing was, No Cuffs was about, you know, feeling free and being single, you know, and not being tied down in something you shouldn't have been in anymore. So talk about the importance of being single and what you learned from yourself when you finally were free of whatever that was that you needed to be free of.
Well, initially the song, it can honestly relate to anything from in a relationship, coming out of a relationship, or friendship, or anything that's holding you back. It's really about independence. It's about it's like a women anthem song. You know, I wanted women to feel confident and not feel like they need anybody, you know? And I grew up with amazing parents. They're super supportive, and I see what they have, and I know what love looks like. So being in a few relationships, which we talked about, how, you know, we got to go through those bad situations to really appreciate and learn along the way. But my advice, like, for anyone that's single, really get to know who you are and give yourself that time, and, you know, let that window of time happen with you just getting to know yourself and figuring yourself your whole life out, and just taking your time, enjoying life. You don't need anyone, but of course we, you know, as women, we love to love. We want somebody with us. So eventually, you want to build and be whole for yourself, so that you can be whole with someone else. You don't want to look into, you know, finding that one person and having them be complete happiness for you, because that would suck. Like, you don't want to depend on that person. What if that person does leave, or he's not the one? Then you feel empty and broken.
Yeah, and like two broken people doesn't make
it doesn't work out.
Whole thing. And then even like, I forgot which song it was. It wasn't Curious. It was another one where you were talking about how you were curious to see when he was going to stop playing with your heart and with the game. So why do you think women keep themselves in relationships where, you know, a guy just plays games and he's not serious? Why do you think women put up with that? And why do you think guys do that? Like, what do you think they get out of it? And why do you think they waste people's time like that?
Man, there's so many reasons. It just really depends. Again, like I feel that women stay for these reasons. One, like, it's convenient. They don't want to be lonely. And, you know, it's comfort. Or, you know, just we like companionship, you know, so they settle. And sometimes you have that hope in the back of your mind, like, oh, I hope he's going to change, or I believe. And, you know, when you fall in love, sometimes you're blind to what's happening, and you don't even realize how crazy or unhealthy the relationship is until you really step away from it. And, you know, I have friends that have been in unhealthy relationships, and I try to tell them, like, girl, like, he's like hurting you verbally, you know, even physically at some point. Like, that's not healthy, that's not good. But they don't even get it. They're like, oh, girl, he loves me, that's why he does it. I'm like, what? This is crazy. You know, everyone's different. And for guys, the reason why I think they do that, it depends. Sometimes they're just not ready. You can never be good enough for a man that's not ready. So you could be perfect, and then the guy can just be like, if he's not ready, he's never gonna.
What was, and this might be a little personal, but it's like, you know, everyone has it. What was a flaw that you had of yourself where you were like, oh, like maybe, but it really wasn't a flaw, but it made you feel, it made you feel that way because of a relationship. Maybe it's not even a relationship. Maybe it's even like if fans or like haters commented something, but what was something that really like got to you that made you question yourself, and you're like, wait, am I really like this? But it wasn't, and it was just allowing the influence of other people make you think that of yourself. Like, was there anything?
I think, well, I'm the youngest of three. So I'm a baby sometimes. I like things my way all the time, but I mean, I've learned and matured so much through a lot of the things that I've been through, and I think my issue before I would just own up to is that, I mean, I'm a bit selfish. I'm very demanding when it comes to just wanting time, because everyone has. Have you ever read the love language book?
How
everyone
have,
has
just
different.
so you're the
yeah,
one
I know
with
you
it.
have. I'm sure we talk about this all the time. But I love quality time.
Okay.
Quality time and verbally like expressing how you feel. I think it's important. So I think that was me. I feel like you have to find someone that balances and matches your love language, or understand each other's love language, because that person could be showing like, oh, I love her, I buy her things. But you're like, I don't want you to buy me things, I just want you to spend time with me.
Do you know what the five, if someone were to ask me what are the 5 love languages on the spot, I don't know if I can name all, but I know that there's the 5.
I forgot.
I know it's like time.
Quality time, it's physical, like just physical touch.
I don't know the rest.
Verbal, like talking, saying I love you or whatever. The gifts, I don't know. It's 5. Guys, check it out. 5 love languages.
So then my last question is, the EP starts with like, it's like sad breakups, and then, going through that, finding your independence, but then even at the end, it kind of maneuvers into like, you found someone that is like, it kind of like he gave you life again, and then it's like you were happy. So obviously, I mean, everyone knows you're in a relationship now, and you do seem very, very, very happy. So what is it? It says you see yourself growing old with someone. So what is growing old with someone like? Paint that picture of what that is. Like, how many kids?
Oh my God.
When is that? Is it a big one? Is it a small one?
Growing old with someone, I mean, again, I have such an amazing example in front of me, my parents. Just 2 people that are best friends, that support and enjoy each other's time, and just really, do everything together. Like the thing with me and my boyfriend right now, we both understand each other's work in our industry, so we are super supportive with each other. We're super understanding. And for the kids, I would want maybe 2, 3 maybe, but not until I get married. I have to get married. I gotta put a ring on it first.
So you have to have a ring first before you have kids. And then what about, we talked about this off camera, but it's fine. What about them moving in? We talked about how there's a lot of people where in relationships they move in together before they're married. And then some people say they do that because it's better to know the person, but then there's other people that don't want to do it until marriage. So when do you want to move in, when you're married, or would you be open to it? Like,
I'm super old school. Like I love the fact that you get married, then you move in, because it's something you look forward to. It's something that you can like, oh, we're gonna like totally pick a house together and decorate it together. So I feel like it's something you look forward to do together. I know a lot of people that moved in before and they're great. It just really depends, but I'm super old fashioned. Like I like that whole structure of things. So I would definitely want to get married first.
Okay, so lastly, is there any other life lesson that you'd want to pass along to your fans, whether that be music, social media, personal, whatever that is?
The advice I would want to give to anybody that wants to be in the industry or just to pursue their dreams, you have to not focus on anyone else's path. Like that's one thing I've learned moving to LA. I'm like, dang, like I pray and I do this and I do that, and this girl is not even doing anything and she's getting all the gigs. Like it's so easy to be distracted and to be jealous or to compare your success to others. I believe everyone's time is different. Everyone has their own path. So my advice is just to focus on you, really be consistent and focus on what you love, and don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just do you.
Your time will come. Okay. That was Tere's preaching on Sunday about like your path.
I was at the 9 a.m. service.
Oh, were you? So I live streamed because I didn't feel good that day, but I watched the 11 a.m. one, and it was cool because he was talking about that. He talked about how we spend so much of our time looking at everybody else's path when it's like all you had to do was just stick to your own. And it's weird because when people ask me for advice on how to even get into the industry, it's like I can't really give you that much advice because it's like what worked for me isn't going to work for you. What worked for you isn't going to work for the next person. And it's just like you just have to follow your own dream and your own path and what you really wanted to do and not what you think worked for everybody else.
Everyone's different. So it's cool. I'm happy. I love the journey that I'm on and where I'm going, and I'm just looking forward to just keep growing every day. So
Okay, well, thank you for visiting my
Thanks
set.
for having me. This is
I'm
awesome.
good.
I'm so proud of her. Look at this. Look at the sign.
That's a real sign.
That's a real sign, guys.
People never think this is a real sign.
That's
because
a real sign.
it
These
looks
are
like
real
it's projected.
couches. This is her real hair. No, I'm just kidding.
It is my real hair. Like it is. Thank you.
All right.